Well, hello, folks. Top Gun here with you, and I got a good one for you. Gonna take a look at that inflation. So, yeah, the CPI came out today 9.1, higher than expected. Oh my. Did the market like that? I doubt it. You guys want to have a look? Yeah, let's have a look. Wrong window. There we go. And the market. So, the Australian index, I'm following that for fun because the Australian index has been holding out surprisingly well through all of this. Of course, it's starting to take the heat now. But we can see the SPX, mega downtrend, and then, this line of resistance pretty much came to test it and fail. So, no, we've come and bounced off that, and we'll be coming back to test this, see if we can get over this line of resistance or if this is the downstanding trend. So we kind of have this bear flag forming out. I think we're going to be coming back down to retest at least at 3750. And we'll see what kind of steam we have there, but the RSI is dropping from overbought conditions, and the MACD is already losing steam towards the moving average. So things are not looking great for the SDX or even the NASDAQ. Now the NASDAQ looks like it set a little bit of its own trend before collapsing. So the trends are starting to break a little bit, go a little distinctive, but overall, it's funny how much these things are traveling together. All right, so having a look at Apple, and we cracked that line to come back up. Wow. All right. Apple has said risk on. We've got it, baby. We don't care about inflation. Would you look at that? It cracked right through while everything else dropped. The SPX, and let's have a look at Tesla. Ooh, yeah. Tesla's got some sideways action going on. All right, so pretty much we've had a technical rally in Apple, finally. It was about time. They're actually... looks like we came back down and went back up today. A lot of arguing. So we'll have to see here. We're about to cross the moving average, but the MACD is losing a little bit of steam. So is the RSI. So we could have a correction through tomorrow and maybe even Friday for see if we regain the steam that we need to pick up and see if we can crack 150. Because that is the current line of resistance, that price point. And until we crack over that and hold it as support, confirming we're going to go even higher. So for right now, this is entering consolidation mode. Nothing exciting here to play on. Tesla, not even the technicals are looking good. The bottom, I think, is about to fall out on Tesla in the coming weeks. Not a whole lot of a hope for a rally here. Now, what I really like to look at, you guys are starting to figure out, is U.S. oil. So, the trend is your friend until the end. And basically, you can fall out of a trend line, come back, and you can get back in it. Like here, we peaked over the trend line, but that was excessive. It needed a huge correction. So, you can peak out if you can come back and re-grab it as support, but we bounced off it as resistance and came flying down, which means that this, hoping that we're going to come up and touch this, is pretty much a dream. Goodbye. The trend is your friend until the end. And that seems to be a confirmation now. We've had the same period of a correction here, 7th of March to 11th of April, so about a month long, 9th of June, 13th of July, a little over a month long, and bouncing off this hard again. So we do have room to start gaining steam again to go back up if inflation's still intact, which 9.1, people are spending. Those reports are a little bit of a lagging indicator, but basically this yellow line is now resistance. I don't think there's a lot of hope of breaking this yellow line. You're not hoping that oil is going back to all-time new highs, but when is it going to lose steam and finally drop the bottom out and come back down to 85 a barrel? That's the question. So what we're going to look at now, the trend is your friend until the end. So now we do have a downward trend forming. We've had a lot of double tops in a lot of things, and those double tops have seemed to matter. So we're going to draw them out. I don't think oil will go this low that quickly. But this would basically be a support line saying if oil started to crash horribly, it ultimately would bounce off $41. I don't think we're going to lose over 50% in oil overnight. But that is just in case, drawing that one out there. So what we're going to do is mark the current downtrend. We're going to see, all right, we're going to backdate that, see if that crosses anything significantly. We get 3 points of contact, and we come across where we struggled at 115 back in May. Then we touch 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. So these are not coming very closely together, but this is the current downward trend. The trend is your friend until the end. So basically, with oil, since inflation's intact and that reading is so horrible, I do expect some sideways action in oil, not unlike here. Let's see, we are highly oversold. So technically speaking, oil is starting to ask for a rebound. So I think there is every reason that we can get back over $100 a barrel to test this, either Friday or early next week, before continuing our descent and breaking down to test $85. Wouldn't that be interesting if oil went up to test and then failed and came down and bounced? It'd be funny if it moved inside that. The trend is your friend until the end. Not saying that's 100% what oil's going to do, but right now the RSI is in highly oversold conditions, begging for a technical rally. So whether or not we're going to follow this downward trend, basically right now this is the bull flag area for me. So I expect oil prices to move between these. If we break this line of resistance, well, we will probably follow this trend as a top line back in an upward motion for a little while. And if we fail that test and lose 95 as support, we're falling all the way down to 85. That's basically what I see for oil, and I'm tagging because oil is going to start crashing off as inflation basically kind of peaks. It's going to mark the start of the recession. When we lose 85 for support and we are really falling. Why do I say this? Well, history is an interesting tool. Look at me go back all these years. Oops. Delete that. Yes, look at that blue line. That blue line of 95. Oh my. Oh my. This goes back to 2013. And then look at the crash we had when the bottom fell out. Oh, what if I go back even earlier? See this crash right before the recession started? This huge fall down, but there, if I don't zoom in so much, did that fall happen all at once? No, it didn't. What were these? Market rallies. So now that you can see that this is all played out, once we began the downward trend, oh my God, did that last forever. So breaking that upward trend to continue to test. So when it fell through its bottom, you guys are going to love this. So the trend is your friend until the end. Yeah, we're going to put that right about there. Move that out a little bit like that. Look at this. So this was the upward trend, and then it fell out of the trend and came down to test 90, and then we got a bounce to test the resistance, and then the bottom fell out and the recession came. Could we have done something similar all the way over here. No, that doesn't look. Oh, I need to condense this. There we go. No. The funny thing is, like, across this line, we went up extra, but this line might be confusing. Let's get rid of it. But, oh, yeah, we fell out. We came back to test, and we still haven't tested this line of resistance as actual proof that it's bottoming out time. So, will this line matter? Probably not. It's not going to actually act as support, in my opinion. But this, as we bottom out, I don't know. Be interesting to see how fast that happens as compared to last time. So, it's not a guarantee, folks. Monetary easing could begin. Jerome Powell could lose his sanity. A nuke could drop somewhere. I can't see the future. But history doesn't repeat itself, but it does like to rhyme sometimes. And, yeah, that looks like a rhyme to me, doesn't it, folks? So the recession, all these fears could be just getting going because oil prices might finally be about to collapse. Now, with all that going on in the market, we had a horrible day in the market. See you red, except for the EWA. Let's just scroll that out of there. See you red. And for whatever reason, Tesla held its own going sideways. And crypto, a sea of green. People might be thinking a safe haven. This is interesting, but my thesis still stands. The reason oil prices are going to collapse is not because people started charging less. It's not because people went, oh, they're raising interest rates, we better charge less for oil. No, it's because people cannot afford the oil because they're getting fired. Yes, the tsunami of layoffs is beginning, and people are getting laid off. There is less demand in the market. All that excess liquidity is getting sucked up. People are on and on their credit cards. They can't chase the inflation even for the necessities, and that is why the price of oil is dropping out. And if they can't afford those things, necessities, how long does crypto keep going? How much of a rich game is it? People selling their crypto for oil, for groceries. Like, how bad does it get when the recession really kicks off? Which is why I believe that Bitcoin was going to hit the red zone, this first red line, 10,000, and fall below it into the red zone. So you can see the trend is your friend into the end, and the long-standing back one from the double top, we fell under. Right now, it seems to be a line of resistance that we need to break over. And we are still following. Yeah, like, I'll zoom in on this so you guys can see. I'm not going to do this like so itty bitty. So looking at the RSI, you can see it's been building up into its overbought conditions. And all we've gotten, again, is sideways action, just like last time. And basically, I wouldn't be surprised if the RSI cups around for one more test and top, decides she doesn't like that line, and she will start falling out again. Most likely. The green impressions on the MACD, like, you can see this ebb and flow under the moving average, and we've about peaked under the moving average. The RSI most likely, like, after the peak, oh look, the RSI peaked one more time. So after this peak, we could see another bump in the RSI as we get some sideways action. Test this line, test this faded green line. I'll make it really large and bright for a moment. That orange line I'm talking about, that's now resistance. The sideways action seemed to ignore it, so it may not be an important line. We'll see what happens with this test here, but most likely it'll come closer to the yellow line, get over this orange line, and I will just delete the orange line outright, figuring out that, yes, it is useless. For now, fade it into the background. So the yellow downward trend, do we have enough oomph and enough risk on for Bitcoin to crack that over the course of this weekend? Questions, do we? Apple has led the risk on environment for a change and said, hey, tech stock's going looking nice. Come on. But I don't know if that's going to mean a whole lot for Bitcoin here. Really. We right now actually testing my support line again at 2000 almost. Yeah. So can we even get back over that? Do we have the steam? It'll be interesting to see. And Ethereum, I marked the top of this just to see when it peaked, if we have enough steam to come back over it. We haven't even come out to touch the outside of the yellow trend. Like, I'm going to have to recorrect the yellow trend to this red one, coming down even steeper. Ethereum has not been happy. And Hex has had a lot of sideways action. Like, it might have actually demanded and said, we found bottom. There's no guaranteeing that, though. The RSI agitator is still under the moving average. It's not exactly risk-on rebound condition yet, but you can see I have this upward trend starting to form. The trend is your friend until the end. And basically, if this trend can hold out over the next month and a half, all the peaks and falls, we don't come below this line, it's going to start to indicate that we may have a rebound actually happening here. But we're getting very close to testing it, and we might fall out. And if we do, we'll be heading back to retest 209 again. Most likely bounce off that with some steam. Apparently, we did not like going lower than that number. So, yeah, Hex is still consolidating. Like, it's found a bottom, waiting for the pain to onslaught. So basically, the end of the week, when Bitcoin has hit this line and decided to go over it or fall under it, and we have more pain coming in, I'll be watching the stress test on Hex. And if Bitcoin falls all the way down to 16,000 or lower, and we still hold 2.9 at Hex, that is going to be a very nice sign. Very nice. So I have optimistic things I'm looking for in Hex. It is looking somewhat good because it is not looking like a dumpster fire. And Tesla right now looks like a dumpster fire. U.S. oil looks like a dumpster fire. Like, we are about to fall off this cliff. There are no parachutes. Get ready for the fall. It will not be fun. So yeah, this is what we got going on. And meanwhile, yeah, Hex not looking like as much of a dumpster fire as Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, I will say at least both Bitcoin and Ethereum on this step resumed some healthier trading motions as opposed to all this agitation. So the next step down might actually bring us to our market rally for a couple months. Middle stage, a little bit of denial. We won't get to all-time highs, but there'll be some money to be had maybe. Will that next bounce and next sideways action actually produce even healthier charts? Hoping so, as we finally suss out all the shakedown, all the people that need to come out of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Hex. I think we're getting there. So, does this mean that all-time highs, bear market's over? No. It just means that we are in technical oversold conditions in a lot of things. When we go into the long term, like no longer even the daily, like I could start looking at these charts. Might make more sense if 1 week. Look at the RSI. This is what we're talking about when we look at the weekly. Oh, these huge oversold conditions, which is where we are highly, this is what I mean, highly oversold. Technical rally has just been begging and waiting to begin. But, we don't have all the signs we need from everywhere. Oh, looks pretty similar in Ethereum too, right? Are we going to get there? Are we going to get the rally everyone so desperately wants? It's hard to say. It's not guaranteed. Like, look, heck, no. Maybe. It might be about that time for the technical oversold rally. We could maybe, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Looking at this the week, Oh, this is even sexier. Hit like and subscribe if you're liking looking at these charts from different angles. Like I hadn't even thought to zoom out to the weekend lately. This is summing up what I'm trying to say better when you can see, oh, the RSI is in oversold like over the course of the weeks. Yes. Yes, doesn't matter so much the day when you've got that kind of long standing trend going. We're about to swing up. And yeah, so there should be a technical rally. It's been aching. And if we look at Apple, see, that's where Apple has said, yes, we're having our technical rally. Here we go. Was that the end of the rally? Will it be down to more pain? Possibly. The market is not that great. The rallies don't have to be that high. Even Tesla, oh man, oh man, oh man. See where that rally happened after a long technical oversold? So it's starting to try and push up here. We'll see if she loses steam or not, if we can get back up out and actually have a rally. We will find out as we come to test this line of resistance. Is there enough oomph to get above and start testing and trading a little higher? Not all-time new highs, but just a little rally, an actual something we can sink our teeth into and not just have to short everything. Wouldn't that be nice, folks? It would be. So, yeah, I will keep an eye on the market, and I'll keep up to date when I can pump out a video. But that's all the time I have for you. I got to go. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, folks, stay frosty.